Um, okay, so if you guys are watching, we're glad to be back. It is a new year. The first movie review of 2024 is going to be Nefarious. It's a newer movie. We actually, fun fact, had this recorded, and we were going to release it back in October of 2023, but due to some technical difficulties, we weren't able to. So we get a Halloween type movie at the beginning of the year in January, and then we'll do another Halloween movie October 2024. So
Yeah.
Nick,
This fills the gap for what's coming, right? We got some good stuff coming, so this is kind of a
yeah,
gap filler.
lots of good stuff in the works here. So Nick, why don't we talk about the parental advisory and the plot for a little bit, and then we'll get into the movie.
Yeah, so Nefarious is rated R, and even though it's rated R, it's kind of intense. There's intense situations and things that people might, if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, kind of, it's not very scary. At least I didn't think so, but there are some very high tense situations. So if you're sensitive to that, you might not want to watch it at a young age. But he ended up not, but we invited our son to watch it, and he's 15. So I wouldn't have any problem with that, even though it's rated R. There's no profanity, there's no nudity, at least no profanity that I could remember, and I don't think there is, and there's no nudity or anything like that in it. There's just very tense situations. So in that sense, I would say it's fine for just about any teenager. I don't know about a 13-year-old. I mean, depending on the 13-year-old, if they can handle those tense situations and they have some maturity, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not like it's not like Saw or anything like that where there's a ton of gore and
I mean, it's not even like
things
it.
like that. Yeah, it's not even.
And I didn't think it was.
Which is both are rated R. It's so
Yeah.
different, so very different movies, for sure.
But I also wouldn't say
But this is also,
it's very scary.
yeah, just tense.
It's more like jump scary. It's
Tension.
like coming out of like different places, and it's like, I gotcha, or certain camera techniques, and it's coming around a corner or whatever. It scares you. Coming out of a projector, like in the movie, But then I would say Nefarious is more real life heavy topics that are scary when you grapple with the reality of the situation.
Yeah, and I don't think it was. So it's definitely classified as a horror movie, a Christian horror movie. For those that don't know, this was supposedly. I don't know the specific production company or producers or anything, but supposedly a Christian production, and it is definitely a horror movie and classified as one. But I don't think it's a horror movie in the sense that it's trying to scare the audience. I think it's a horror movie in the sense that the main character is in an impossible situation. Like in a situation that they are terrified of. Even though the audience isn't scared of what's going on, the main character is in a situation that is absolutely terrifying. And so I think
I would agree with that
sense.
I would agree with that because the way the movie is filmed is as if you are the therapist going through the film.
Right.
It's you encountering everything as he's encountering everything. You're not you're kind of watching it happen, but the way that things are being revealed, it's as if you could take you could walk in his shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's probably where the intensity and maybe terror would come from. Because if this really happened, that's you would be probably out of your mind scared.
Yeah.
So,
which he eventually gets to.
Right. So go ahead, set up the plot for us.
So we have Nefarious. I'm going to get to him in a second, or that name in a second. But we have Edward Wayne Brady, who is a convicted murderer who is on the doorstep of the death penalty. And he is supposed to be reviewed he's claiming that he's demon-possessed, and they want him to be assessed by a psychologist or psychiatrist. I don't know the exact credential of the doctor in the movie, but a therapist, whatever role he actually has. But they want him to be assessed and for whether or not he's fit to be put to death for the crimes that he committed. And so Dr. James Martin, who is the main therapist, the doctor in the story, comes to the prison to sit in a room and talk to Edward Wayne Brady, who's claiming to be demon-possessed, and he's claiming to be possessed by a demon named Nefarious. And the demon then, in the story, is the one who's constantly communicating with the therapist, not Edward Wayne Brady. And the demon claims responsibility for all of the crimes, but then furthermore, the demon tells, because Dr. James Martin is so skeptical, just absolutely denying that this is true. He's basically saying this is an act. That this man actually is not demon possessed. Demons aren't real. God's not real. None of this is real. That's the position of Dr. James Martin at the beginning of the movie. But Nefarious tells that doctor that he will commit 3 murders by the time their conversation is done. And so that sets the stage for the story as it plays out and what those 3 murders are. And you can kind of tell from the beginning, at least I thought it was fairly predictable that this is where they were going, that the murder of Edward Wayne Brady, by saying he's fit for the death penalty, is the last murder that the doctor will commit. And that's what's foretold by Nefarious, the demon. And that's the conflict and everything that goes on. Anything to add? Anything that I forgot in there?
Nope. I mean, outside of just going into a little bit more detail, I would say no. I think you pretty much nailed it.
Yeah.
It's the doctor coming into conflict with a physical and spiritual reality that he does not believe in. Hey guys, it's Parker from the WatchWell Podcast. If you liked this video, we want to go ahead and have you subscribe right here on this button. If you want to watch the full podcast episode, go ahead and click right here. And if you want to watch another WatchWell clip, go ahead and click right here. And remember, if you're going to watch well. We'll see you in the next one.